Happy New Year! Welcome to my 6 Songs and Some Stories concert for January 2021. I'm Martha Gallagher, and I'm delighted that you're here with me. Instead of just jumping right into the music today, I did want to start with just speaking a bit because in, the last year, but certainly in the last week, we've had some very unusual times, some very disturbing and difficult times. But I don't want that to overshadow the natural joy which normally just bubbles through each one of us. In the Christian calendar, they've just celebrated the Feast of Epiphany, a time of where new light breaks into the world. And whether you celebrate that or not, if you think about epiphanies come to us, bing, and we can't make them happen. We can't decide how they're going to happen or where or when they're going to happen. And often they don't appear in the form we think we might like to have an epiphany. But nonetheless, each epiphany brings us a gift. We just need to be open and ready to receive it. Some words came to me as I was preparing the music for this concert, and I wanted to share them with you. They're from The Lord of the Rings, which was a book I just still love. Frodo and Gandalf are talking, and Frodo says, "I wish it need not have happened in my time." "So do I," said Gandalf. "And so do all who live to see such times." But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what we are going to do with the time that is given us.
Here dawns another glorious day, full of sunshine, or maybe rainy and gray clouds. Here dawns another glorious day, and the flow of life goes on and on. Oh, the flow of life goes on. I say thank you, Creator. Thank you for this glorious day. Thank you, I said thank you, Creator. Whoa, yeah. And the flow of life goes on and on, and the flow of life goes on and on, and the flow of life goes on. Huh. The idea of a rose blooming outdoors in the middle of winter where I live in the northeastern United States is absolutely ridiculous. But that's what makes it so miraculous. When I was young, my heart opened to the wonders of the world, blossoming with a passion for life. Broken hearts along the way led me to believe that there was only one way to survive. So I wrapped my heart in darkness, kept it in the cold, like a tender flower stored on ice. But something strange has been happening lately. It's starting to bloom, open into its own warmth and light. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter, blossoming under a January sun. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter, fragrant though the bitter winds blow, blood red petals against the snow. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter. like a tender flower stored on ice. Something strange has been happening lately. It's starting to bloom, opening to its own warmth and light. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter, blossoming under a January sun. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter, fragrant though the bitter winds blow, blood red petals against the snow. My heart is blooming like a rose, like a rose in a winter. Yes! Oh, roses. I love roses. Thomas Carlyle was a contemporary of Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he wrote the words, what was a poem that became this song. Here hath been dawning another blue day. Think, wilt thou let it slip useless away? Out of eternity this new day is born, and into eternity at night will return. Behold it aforehand, no eye ever did, and soon it forever from all eyes is hid. For here hath been dawning another blue day. Think, wilt thou let it slip useless away? For here hath been dawning another blue day. Think, wilt thou let it slip useless away? Out of eternity this new day is born, and into eternity at night will return. Behold it aforehand, no eye ever did. Soon it forever from all eyes is hid. For here hath been dawning another blue day. Think, wilt thou let it slip useless away? And all we have to do is to decide what to do with the time that is given us. In January of 2017, my dad passed away. And I was fortunate to be with him when he was passing. And I actually had a small harp with me. I held his hand with one hand and played the harp with the other. And that was truly a very beautiful experience. Because he was living in an assisted living facility, I had to clean out his room fairly quickly after he passed. So I was going through the dresser drawers, and I found all these socks. And they seemed to be pretty brand new. And they all had his name on a tag ironed on the bottom of the socks. And I thought, well, I'm just going to take them with me. They probably won't fit me because his feet are so much bigger than mine. But I took them with me. So fast forward a few weeks, I was then down in Florida at a family place that my dad had this vision for our family to be together each winter, part of the time, down there. Beautiful place on the beach. And so I was the only one who could go that year at that time. And I'm down there, and it's in February, so the mornings were still kind of cool. And I had gone out for an early morning walk, and I just pulled on a pair of socks without really thinking. And I'm out walking on the beach and thinking about my dad, and thinking about his passing, and thinking about how visionary he was to have gotten this place 30 years plus before. And I realized as I looked down that I was wearing a pair of his socks. And like so many funny little things come to me in a song. Walking in my dad's socks on the beach at sunrise. I'll never fit into his shoes, but his socks are just my size. They must be a blend of wool that shrank when they were washed and dried. Now they fit me perfectly, and he doesn't need them anymore. They must be a blend of wool that shrank when they were washed and dried. Now they fit me perfectly, and he doesn't need them anymore. Walking in my dad's socks on the beach at sunrise, his socks below me and the sky above is the brilliant blue color of my dad's eyes. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that piece. And speaking of walking, I thought it would be really fun if we could take a virtual walk in the woods together. I love walking in the woods. I live in the northeastern part of New York State, which is called the Adirondack Mountain region. And I'm surrounded by forests and lakes and streams, and it's just a beautiful area. And I love walking in the woods any time of the year, although spring seems to be the time we feed the bugs. But anyway, in the winter, it's just a whole nother experience. Snow underfoot or ice, snow on the branches, no doubt some of it falling down the back of your collar. Could be brilliant blue skies and sunlight, twinkling diamond snow, or it could be gray and deep and dark and quiet. So I'm going to take you to one of my favorite trails to take just a little walk. And we'll just see what's around us, kind of a mini forest bathing experience, if you will, and just enjoy being in the forest. Come with me. That was wonderful. Thank you for joining me, even if it was only virtually. So walking, walk, wander, meander, peregrinations, pilgrimage, pilgrim, immigrant, refugee. Some of these words invoke images of pleasant walks or spiritual journeys, leaving one place for another. And some of them, they're not always pleasant or planned or wanted or returned from. And certainly, just as a pilgrimage would be, if you return, it's never by the same way to the same place truly as the person you once were. This next song I'm going to do, I haven't had a chance actually to share it in a number of years in concert, and I'm really delighted to be able to share it with you tonight. It's inspired by a short story called Gifts for the First Birthday by Ruth Sawyer from her book, This Way to Christmas. And this story tells how the robin got its red breast. Now, this is a bird that we usually think of, it's kind of common, we take for granted. And yet this story talks about this bird in a very different way, from a different perspective, both beautiful and powerful. It's told in the story of the flight into Egypt of Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus. I call it For the Love of a Baby.
Mary and Joseph and baby took flight into Egypt's land. They traveled by night, for an angel had come and warned them to flee, saying, Herod wants to harm your baby. A prophecy had reached King Herod's ear and filled his small, cold heart with fear. The prophecy said a new king had come, a new king in the form of a baby. Herod gathered the soldiers all in his command and sent them out to scour the land, to slaughter all the infants they find, leaving this nation to mourn their babies. The family, they traveled to far distant lands till they chanced upon gypsy band. But the gypsies said, go, you've a price on your head, you'll bring us trouble from the law, you and your baby. But the king of the gypsies, he stood proud and tall, saying, what's Herod's anger to us after all? We're all travelers here, never let it be, said gypsies turned away exiles and their baby. So they shared their food, they shared their wine, they told gypsy stories from time out of mind. Round the fire they danced and sang songs through the night, all to the delight of the baby. And up in the tree all night sat a robin who watched and joined in with her song. And when the travelers down for to sleep, she sang a lullaby to the baby. Night wind it rose, it whistled and whirled round the dying campfire. The night wind swirled, it stirred up the embers, scattered them round. Hot embers fell close to the baby. The robin flew down and bared her chest and caught the hot embers upon her breast. Her feathers they burned, her flesh it glowed red. She stood fast to protect the baby. The robin still carries to this very day upon her breast a symbol of a sacrifice made, a choice made freely that came from the heart, all for the love of a baby, all for the love of a baby.
So this next song, I actually wasn't planning to do for this concert, but it kept coming to me both day and night. And in the last few days, some of the words have come very strongly to me. This is a piece I've loved for many years, and I've gone through many incarnations with it. So right now, it's still in a formation of a new incarnation, and I want to share it with you. But the words are that hit me so strongly. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
My life goes on in endless song, above earth's lamentations. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails new creation through all the tumult and the strife. I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I hear the truth, it liveth. What though the darkness around me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm. While to that rock I am clinging, since love is all of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? my life goes on in endless song, above verse lamentations. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation through all the tumult and the strife. I hear its music ringing, sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep, how can I keep, how can I keep from singing?
I hope you have enjoyed this evening's concert, 6 songs and some stories. And next month, I'll be doing another concert, so I hope you'll join me again then. I'm delighted to be able to make these concerts available free of charge so that anyone, no matter their financial status, can afford to attend if they would like to and would enjoy it. But I will say that contributions are most welcome. As for many, many people, traditional ways of my being able to make a living have disappeared, at least for now. And this is one way that I can continue to share the music with you and make a living for myself. So contributions are most welcome. You can just go to my website, adkharper.com, and there's information right there as to how to contribute. Thank you very much. And I'd love to share one last thought with you. And that was that during a workshop, a virtual workshop that I just took this week, focusing on Epiphany, which I had not spent a lot of time learning about before. It was a beautiful workshop. But one of the ideas that was put forth was the idea that in New Year's, instead of making a New Year's resolution, to instead be open to new revelations. May you be open to many revelations and the many blessings that come into your life. Blessings, be well, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.